Call It Crew, and welcome to another episode of Call It Short and Sweet. Hello, Jessica Capshaw.
Hello, Camilla Luddington. I got a little spring in my step right now.
I know why you do.
How do you know?
Except, well, because I've also got a little spring in my step.
Is it because it's the first week of September and children are going back to school where someone
It's
else can
because,
take care of them
yeah,
all day long?
they've sprung their step into a classroom.
I've barely slowed my car, opened a door.
Push them out. I'm at the point though where I feel like I've forgotten. Like I stare at that backpacks and I've forgotten what goes in there. What do I make you for lunch? Like I'm like, is it a couple goldfish and a chicken nugget? What was I doing last year?
Well, you've already admitted that, not even admitted, you've already said that Matt is the lunch guy.
He's the lunch guy. It's like that's
I
good.
just saw
It's
him with
like
a
the
hairnet and a hat, by the way.
you know, he is. He is. You know what we need? Oh my God, I saw this woman on social media and she had the most genius thing ever. She had set up in her own kitchen a like what is it called when you like help yourself?
Like a buffet.
A buffet. A salad bar. She has a salad bar that she keeps there all the time. She chops everything up twice a week. She refills it. So the kids just go and they literally like fill up their own food, all you can eat.
She has this just in her house.
She has it in her house.
How does one
I
acquire
don't
a
know how she does it, but she has some sort of refrigerated thing where she can put the little containers and she keeps it all there. And by the way, I feel like Matt needs this.
like many things like this, I'm simultaneously jealous and disgusted.
I'm only jealous because I'm a snacker, so I need food to like.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a cooker, but Matt
Yeah.
also needs that. You know what? I am gonna get him my hairnet for Christmas though.
And one of those little in and out cute hats, like a little boat hat.
He loves it. Do you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
making the lunches? I hate making
You
them.
know what? I actually do if you only had to do it once or twice a week. I don't like doing it every single day. And then my mom used to make fun of me because I would not make them the night before. Like I had to make them fresh. She's like, "What are you doing? Like, why would you not make them the night before?" And I was like, "Because if you make the sandwich, then it gets all soggy and the bread's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gross." So, anyways, I actually used to enjoy it. Then a real game changer when I used to make them was those bento boxes where they actually had a certain allotted space
Yes.
for the food. And then I did find we've talked about this before. I did find those kind of like aspirational, semi-annoying parent Instagram accounts very helpful because they would throw up inspos for like a balanced bento box lunch sitch. And I would do that. And it was easier. It was a little more buffet like. You just fill in the box. Less.
I mean, I also have a bento, but when I look at the inspiration, it's like edamame beans. And it's like Lucas is gonna just flick those across his briquet like they're
Stick one in his
marbles.
nose or his
Yeah,
ear.
those are going nowhere. Those are going everywhere but his mouth. And so
Yeah.
I look at those and I'm like, that's so nice that your kids would eat those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have fussy kids right now. Hayden's way easier than him. But four, it's tough. It's tough. Four is
Yeah, I
not.
know. I know. I know. I used to get so much I don't know. It wasn't as deep as shame, but I'd feel something negative when I would see like I really thought for a moment that really my kids only liked they were always organic, but like chicken tenders and pizza. Like
Yeah.
that's what they liked the most. And then I was like, you know what? F that. If it's healthy and it's not, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. It's not all gonna be all the time, but yeah, they're my kids definitely aren't like at the farmer's market, like sucking on like sweet snap peas straight from the farmer.
No,
Well,
no,
on my hip, I've seen
no.
that. That's a direct image I have from a
Oh, that's
Los
a
Angeles
real
farmer's market.
thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. No, that's
Good for that
never,
mom. Good for that mom.
yeah, that's never happened in my life. Anyway,
Yeah. So anyways, they're back to school and I am very excited for them. I'm very excited for me. I'm excited for the world. I'm excited for the country. Just excited for everyone.
so the crew has written us. We have a whole short and sweet episode of just about crew submissions.
So the crew submits and we read and then we bring to you. And they're all so fantastic. It's genuinely hard to figure out which ones to read. So just please keep them coming because we will, I mean,
We're
we have the
making our
chance
way
to
through
get to
them.
all of you.
Yes.
Maddie wrote in and said, I am a 36-year-old woman. I don't have kids, but my friends do. The other day, one of my friends came to visit with her 4-year-old, and I really loved the kid. But then she was jumping on my couch, and I asked her to sit down. A few minutes later, she was playing way too quiet, so I went to check on her, and that's when I discovered she was drawing on my wall with the pen she found. I told her that's not what walls are for, but that I was happy to get her a piece of paper if she wanted to draw something. When I got back to my friend, she was upset with me and told me that it was not my place to tell her kid what she can or cannot do. So my question for you is, as moms, what do you think? Am I or am I not allowed to speak up?
I can't even believe this is a real situation.
Oh, I can't believe a lot of things.
I know, but you're four. Listen, they're 4 years old. Okay. I have this age. They are rat bags. Lucas was thought it was funny to like draw in down the entire hallway like a week ago. And so they do these things. And I think that when it's your house, of course you're allowed to say, like, hey, honey, like we can't really do that. Like, let's do that over here.
Yeah.
And I find it really strange that another mom's reaction to it is you can't tell my kid what they can and can't do.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I've never been in a situation like that.
Sometimes I can be with other people's kids. And listen, here's the deal. I've found that people know when they have a kid that pushes boundaries. Like, when you have a kid
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
talks back or is rude or
yeah.
loud or,
Or it's also just having that day. You also know, like, I'm
yeah,
on my way to a birthday
tired.
party and I'm like, oof,
Yes.
they did not
Yes.
sleep last night. This is going to be rough, you know?
Yeah. 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 When they were that age, I was a fan. I was actually reminded of this because I was asking someone else because I sometimes you have a little bit of parenting amnesia. You're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I remember it, but I was also reminded that I was a big fan of like pulling them. I would just like eject them. Like if they were too tired or they were having a hard time or it was like thing after thing, I just was like, love you all. Peace out. Peace out. This one and I are out of here. And
Yeah.
usually you can figure some version of that out. It's not often, except for if you're on a plane. You can
Yeah.
figure that out. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it's a solution for Maddie. I think what I would maybe try first is, if this is a really good friend of yours, is I think I would say, you know what? Okay, great. Like I don't want to tell your kid what to do. Um, in these situations, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say like, hey, he or she is upstairs and they're drawing on the wall. What do you want to do about it? Or do you want to go upstairs and take care of it? Or what? I think I'd put it
Or
on
I'm
the
going to let
parent.
you handle it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like,
let you
yeah,
handle it.
yeah.
And then let them figure out what it was that, that they should do.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
don't think it's
yeah.
about speaking up. I think it's like, hopefully we all understand that our children are our responsibilities, right? So, I guess it's just, all
I
right,
think
cool.
you are looking always for the other parent to handle it.
Yeah.
I don't want to handle it ever. I want
No.
you to handle it. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Matt and I we call it calling it. We call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We call it. You're done. We're calling
Yeah.
it. You're done. We pull you out and you're not, and I think it's a good lesson for them too, because they're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
like that's not okay. It's tough though. Those dynamics can get tough though because some people parent very differently.
Oh, some. I think
A lot.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always say, or maybe it's just me. I always say it's none of that really in life. Like nothing is ever supposed to be super easy, right? Like it's not supposed to be so, so easy, but it's not supposed to be so, so hard. So when you find yourself in that, like things are really fucking hard right now, and it's thing after thing with my kid, then I think it's such an admirable thing to call it and be like, listen, this is just too hard. Like again,
Yeah.
we can do hard things. I get that for sure, for sure. But then at that age, you have to just sort of go, well, this is we're not here yet. We'll be here, so we'll be able to handle this
Yeah.
soon, but it's not yet. So
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I would protect your relationship with your friend, and I would say, in those situations, what would you like me to do? What could I do that would be different or that would make you happier? And like, can I come get you? Or do you tell me, like, what do you want me to do? And then see what
Yeah.
happens. Okay. I think for good reason. This is from Anonymous. I am in a close friend group of four women. One of these women accidentally made out with my fiance while we were all pretty drunk on a couple's getaway back in May. The group has been awkward since, and I expected my other two besties to take my side, but they want to remain neutral. I'll be frank, I'm fucking pissed. What happened to loyalty? Now I have no fiance, and I'm probably going to be out two more friends. How would you navigate this? I feel like in this type of scenario, people should choose sides. Yeah, I think they should
Yeah.
choose sides. Are you kidding me? How do you, by the way, also like what I fell on your face? Like, how do you accidentally make out with someone? Like her lips just like tripped?
There's no accidental making out with your best friend's fiance. There
No.
isn't Saddle Ranch on Sunset Boulevard on a 2 a.m. Saturday night. Like, this, no. So your best friends need to.
Whew.
They need. Otherwise, I feel like all bets are off. What are the
Yeah.
rules in this friend group? What are we abiding
Yeah.
by here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no. You don't actually make out with anyone's person in a tight friend group. That's not, well, that brings up the saying with friends like these, who needs enemies?
Exactly right.
I mean,
I think it might be okay to lose the other two. The fiance
yeah.
sucks. He's gone. Bleh.
Right. Again, you're gonna write him a thank you note later.
Totally. He's a thank you note waiting to
Bye.
happen. And the other two friends are not your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're either, I mean, you gotta listen, I get it. You want to keep the peace, but sometimes you just you gotta grow a spine. You gotta like put your back up and be like, nope.
But I think you can keep the peace by saying to your friend, this was not okay. You have to make it right because this whole friend group is going to go to crap if you don't. And then if it goes to crap, I'm going to have to choose my girl because you did something really messed up. So make it right.
Yeah. A little repair in there.
A little repair. The only thing is it a situation where she's making them choose sides of whether to lose the other friend or not? That's where it can get tricky if you're like you're friends with me or her.
That's how I read it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she feels betrayed because her friend tripped and fell.
I know, but I feel like you can be part of the friend group but still be like, you did a terrible thing. You got to make it right. You got to make it okay. But I don't know if you can tell someone not to be friends with somebody else.
Well, you don't, yeah, well, you can. You can't control what their answer is going to be.
You mean you can put the ultimatum out there? Yeah, yeah. You can put the ultimatum out there.
Well,
You just
yeah,
have to be.
listen,
You have
I
to
don't
be
know. I
okay
don't
with
know.
knowing. You have to be okay that if you put the ultimatum out there, that you might lose the friend. And by the
That's
way,
right.
you know, that really is hard and it sucks.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of ultimatums, and I think the most ultimatums are sort of nasty. That being said, I think that sometimes situations call for one. I mean, it really is like it's this or that. I can think of a couple, but they're very dramatic. But like really, it's like yeah, I mean, listen, everything's on a spectrum and there's all different ways of interpreting things, but there's certain things that we can rely on being pretty black and white. And this might be one of them.
Yeah. Also, it's a fiance. There was a big commitment. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, boyfriend would have been maybe a little bit less, but a fiance, boyfriend's still terrible. It's all terrible.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
That is terrible. And you know what? I will say the hope in it is again that you're going to write him a thank you note. So okay, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that he was not your person. And by the way, that might be the same for these friends that you're super close with, or it'll be an opportunity for you to grow closer together. In either situation, life hurts. I don't know what to say. It really does sometimes.
Yeah.
And getting through it can be painful. I do think that you come out the other side of pain stronger and smarter. And hopefully, I don't know, that you learned something from it.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like she already has.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I'm sorry, Anonymous.
I'm sorry too. Again, I know we keep saying this over and over, and I think we'll never stop saying this. You guys' honesty and vulnerability is so incredible.
Yeah.
And it's really surprised me because people have really leaned in with us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also, well, yes. And I think that the honesty is so fantastic because the openness is what allows for the conversation and allows for us to get to know all of you more, to, swing around our unlicensed advice. Just swing around that unlicensed advice.
But it forces us to be open too.
Yeah,
It's
for
like we have
sure.
no choice. You guys are being so vulnerable. Like we got to go all in too with you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I also have to say, I really, really respect it. I respect that openness. I respect that honesty. And I think that there's a lot in it that will help others grow. And, or there'll be, someone who writes in with something and there's going to be something that someone else relates to and is like, oh, yeah, that happened to me. Or by the way, there might be someone listening that was the friend who made out with a fiance, and they might be seeing the situation a little differently because of it. So I think all of these situations really are multifaceted. They present so many different ways to look at things, and for that, I'm really, really grateful. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you.
And thank you for making this another delicious episode of Short and Sweet.